Okay, so to begin the Farmhouse Clipboard Decor piece, I'm going to start off with my 2 garden fences. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to remove these pieces of plastic that are on both ends of the garden fence. And these are there so that you can attach the garden fences together, but I don't want them. So with this one here, I've already removed them on each side. So now I have to remove this one here. And just a little tip for removing them, what I find works really great, it does take a little bit of time, but not too much. I just take my hot glue gun and I run it up and down over the area that I want to cut off. And I do this until I have a little gully in the plastic. Then I just take my box cutter and then I'll just score the piece of plastic going up and down again until I cut a little bit into the plastic. And then I take my scissors and then I just cut along that line, and honestly it comes off so easy. So now I'm going to go ahead, remove the 4 on this garden fence, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now I'm going to take my white acrylic paint from the Dollar Tree and I'm just going to start applying it on the garden fence. Now I'm not going to try to make this perfect because I do want it to look weathered and rustic, and I think the messier the better. So I'm just going to start wherever. In some areas I just even may leave it lighter, and then in other areas a little bit heavier. And once I've covered both of the fences, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so my garden fences have dried here. It dries very quickly. Now I want to attach the 2 garden fences together so that when this is hanging on the wall, I have one garden fence facing right side up and then the other one directly underneath it upside down. So now where I'm going to join the fences is where the stakes are of the garden fence. Now I do want to add a little bit of length with this. So what I'm going to be using is a bamboo placemat that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. It is by Cotton Concepts. Now this is what it looks like. I've already cut it because I do need 3 strips so that I can wrap around the stakes to keep them together. So what I did was I measured 4 inches. Now just before I go to cut all the way down, I'm going to take my hot glue, and on each side of where I'm cutting, I'm going to run a straight line of glue. This way, when I go to cut it, my bamboo the placemat is going to stay intact. If you don't add that glue, you're going to find that your bamboo placemat is going to come apart. So I've already cut 2 pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and cut my 3rd piece, and then I'm going to show you how I attach these to join my 2 garden fences together. So I've turned my garden fences sideways just because I don't have enough room on the countertop, and I think it's just easier for you to see it this way. So I placed one of the garden fences facing up, right side up, and then the other one facing down. And then I lined them up as best I could. Now I'm going to take my E6000 glue as well as my hot glue, and I'm going to apply it to the stake. Then I will take my bamboo placemat strip, I will center it on top of the garden stakes and then press down and let that dry. I will repeat the same step to cover the other stakes on each end of the garden fence, and then I'll flip the whole thing over. Okay, so I have flipped the piece over to the back. So when you flip it over, then it'll look like this center piece here. Now the stakes on the right and left of the garden fence, I've already glued them in place. So all I'm using is my hot glue to glue this down. So I just fold my left end over, and then I add my hot glue. And then fold the right end over. Just put some pressure on that until it dries, and that's it. Okay guys, so at this point I just wanted to show you another option in using this decor piece. Now I'm going to be using the clipboards, but if you didn't want this piece to display pictures and you wanted to use the Dollar Tree mirrors, these are the 11 by 14 frame mirrors from the Dollar Tree, and I just placed them underneath so you could see how pretty this piece looks with the mirrors underneath. By using the mirrors in this way, you can see the bamboo, so it just gives a nice decorative finish to this piece. But again, I will be using the clipboards because I didn't want a mirrored decor piece. I just really want something to hang on my wall to place some pictures. But I thought I would just include this so that you could see how pretty it does look with the mirrored frames. Okay, so now I'm ready to glue on my clipboards. Now for this one here, I am using 3 clipboards. I am in the process of making another one of these, but I've actually extended the sides a little bit longer so that I can place 6 clipboards so that I can place more pictures, and I also have a larger area, so I think it would just fill it in nicer. But for this one here, again, I'm using the 3. Now I'm going to be placing these straight across. However, because of the bamboo, if you decided that, say, you wanted to place the ones on the end higher and the one in the center lower, or the opposite, then you would get a really nice look in seeing the bamboo. Now the way I'm placing them, you won't see the bamboo, but for me it was also to, I did it for structural purposes, just to keep everything together nice and strong. But it is an option if you don't want to have them straight across this way and you do want to see that bamboo. So now to glue these on, I will be using my E6000 as well as my hot glue. I'm just going to apply them both to the top of the bamboo and then center my clipboard on the bamboo and then let that dry. Alright everyone, so here is my Dollar Tree Farmhouse Clipboard Decor piece, and I absolutely love this. I think that this fits the space perfectly. I love making anything with clipboards. I just think it really gives a nice touch of farmhouse. And by adding these, I actually had made this to display my children's pictures. I have 3 children, so I was going to place 1 on each clipboard. But right now, what I have is the pages of the 2018 Dollar Tree calendar. And I just think if you're really looking for something farmhouse, this would be a neat way to display those pages. It's very simple. You can change them out with ease and it just looks adorable. And if I were to leave this as it is, I think it would just look really nice in my kitchen with these particular pages. so you can see it just a little bit better. But I absolutely love it. Now, I did earlier show you, if you didn't want to use the clipboard, that you could place 2 mirrors in behind. Now, the mirrors that I showed you were 11 by 14 frame mirrors. And using those, it looked really nice, but you did have some of the mirror going past the garden fence above and below. But after, I did have a couple of mirrors that were 8 by 10, and they had the really nice black frame around it. And I did place those ones in behind, and they fit perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert a couple pictures here so you can see what I'm talking about. And I just think that that is another neat idea, whether you want to just use the mirrors or just use the clipboards, or if you want to mix both of them together, you get a really, really pretty decor piece. But as I said, I did this just because I wanted to use it for the purpose of hanging pictures or hanging in particular pages like this from the Dollar Tree calendar. I just think that they fit so nicely together. So that'll do it for this DIY. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I've been enjoying seeing how YouTubers have been using these garden fences and making just such beautiful pieces. And being that right now I am really enjoying the clipboard decor, I decided to incorporate the clipboards with my garden fences, and I just absolutely love how it has turned out. I really hope that you enjoyed this DIY. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And as always, guys, you take care of yourselves, and I so hope to catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.